Hello everyone and welcome to the Homepage Network. I'm Rhonda Pearson. There's breaking news today in local politics as President Trump appoints Matt Baker as the Regional Director of the Office of Intergovernmental and External Affairs. Homepage President John Vogt has more. John?
Thank you, Rhonda. Matt, first of all, congratulations on your new position.
Thank you very much, John. What an honor and opportunity to continue my public service.
Now, I know there's a story to this, and you probably cannot tell us the whole story, but how did all of this come about?
Well, about 6 months ago, the White House had expressed an interest in my serving at the federal level. Apparently, they'd been following my career as the chairman of the Health Committee in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives for at least the last 10 or 20 years. And I was fully expecting to run another term, a 14th term. I had my petitions prepared, signed, and sealed. And a couple of days before I was going to mail them, actually, I received the offer letter from the Department of Health and Human Services that was pre-approved by the White House. And to go back a little bit, though, about 6 months ago, they started showing an interest, and in the last 4 months, they started the very serious vetting process that a lot of people have been hearing about on the national news lately about some other people and some flaws and concerns about them. But they do a very, very thorough investigation into your family, your wife, our financial records, bank accounts. They do criminal background checks. There's fingerprints, FBI checks, and even national security clearance, and many interviews that I've had to engage in with a lot of questions, obviously, because when it's a presidential appointment, they want to be very thorough and make sure they're getting the person they think they're getting. And I can understand that. So I kept praying every month, Lord, if you want me to do this, continue to proceed, and I will be open to a change after 25 years representing the good people of the 68th District in Tioga, Bradford, and Potter counties. If not, I'm ready to go for another 14th term and love serving people. And this is just a great opportunity, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to now continue my public service, not just for Pennsylvania, but for 5 states, including Washington, D.C., and I get to serve my country. I get to serve my Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, 4 other states, and my country now. My dad was a World War II veteran, and I always admired his service in World War II. My father-in-law was a World War II veteran, and he lost 2 of his brothers overseas during the war. And by the time I graduated from high school, the Vietnam War was over. So I was never called up for duty, and so I know I'm getting toward the end of my political career.
No, I wouldn't say that, Matt.
And I thought, I could run a couple more terms, perhaps, in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, but I'm still young enough that if I'm going to make a change and do something else in public service, that now's the right time.
Well, you're young enough, but you also have the wisdom from years of service to go with your new appointment.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been blessed to be elected 13 times by the good people of the northern tier of Pennsylvania here, the 68th District. They've been just wonderful toward me and very, very supportive. And I'm blessed to have a fairly conservative area to represent, and my voting record reflects that. I'm sure the White House and the Department of Health and Human Services have vetted everything humanly possible. Perhaps they know more about me than I do.
Well, even though this is a tremendous opportunity for Matt, I'm sure the last 6 months. Obviously, the Lord gave you the green light.
Yes.
But this couldn't have been an easy decision.
It has not been. It's been at times rather emotional roller coaster ride for me, because it's the people of the 68th district, my staff in 3 offices. They're my extended family. Mm-hmm. I've worked for them morning, noon, and night, weekends, evenings, for 25 years in the legislature. But before that, 12 and a half years for previous representatives. So almost 38 years of service to this area.
And I can say on behalf of the community, Matt, thank you, because you've done an incredible job for us, and we're also very grateful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that more than you can say, because it's not easy moving out of your comfort zone and your level. And when you hear comments like you just made, it makes you wonder sometimes. It makes it a little tougher at times to leave, because you have such great relationships with people and trust, and you've had a good working relationship with folks, and they've had a long time to evaluate my service and my career and my voting record, and I'll tell you, it's been tough, but again, a White House appointment, presidential appointment, comes along perhaps once in a lifetime, if that. And it is an opportunity to continue.
And you'll be serving us.
Yes, yes. It's still public service, servant leadership, only at a higher, larger scale and level. It's going to give me hopefully a seat at the table right next to the President's Cabinet Secretary of Health and Human Services, and that's what I've been working in as the chairman, and authored so many laws and bills over the last many years. So although I've been around a while and worked in those arenas, the federal level is much larger and much more comprehensive, and it's over a $1 trillion budget, over 80,000 employees, and it encompasses such very important organizations and divisions such as the CDC, the NIH, the Center for Disease Control, SAMHSA, Medicaid, Medicare services, so many important programs and benefits, the ministers, the CHIP program, and it also has a very high priority to deal with the whole issue of opiates and drug deaths and drug addiction. So
and you'll do fine. We all know you'll do fine.
Well, thank you.
Now, what will be your official title?
I will be the Regional Director of Region 3 in the Federal Department of Health and Human Services office, headquartered out of Philadelphia, right across from Independence Mall, the Liberty Bell. The Independence Hall is not far from there. And I'll have responsibility, as I said earlier, for 5 states and Washington, D.C.
Once again, Matt Baker has been appointed by President Trump as Regional Director of the Office of Intergovernmental and External Affairs, Office of the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. When we come back, Matt has a special message for the people he has served for the past 25 years here in the 68th District. Stay with us.
My business started in 1962. Started out as a little sandwich shop on Main Street here in Muncie. Several months ago, I've been having these episodes of indigestion. I didn't pay much attention to it. I'd take some Tums, it would go away. But this one particular night, it came on me very, very suddenly. Next thing I know, I was on the OR table. Well, my experience with the Heart and Vascular Institute was great. The care that I received there was, I thought, phenomenal. There's like 50 people that I was in contact with through the whole process. And every one of them was super. I have 7 children, and 24 grandchildren. I feel very fortunate that we had the Heart and Vascular Institute here, and they provided me with hopefully many more moments of good fortune in my life.
Hello everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity at this time in my life to thank everyone so very much for supporting me, for electing me to 13 terms in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, and for giving me the trust and the honor to serve you each and every day. And I will forever be grateful for the opportunities that you've given me to serve as your state representative, your lawmaker, and more importantly, to be your servant leader, both here locally in Tioga, Bradford, and Tioga counties, Potter counties, as well as the capital. And it's with a heavy heart that I say goodbye, but not necessarily farewell. I am still going to be serving you in the next capacity. An awesome opportunity has presented itself in a service call, if you will, a duty to service to my Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and to my country. And I'm looking forward to serving for at least another few years, maybe more. And I hope to see you at least on the weekends. But I wanted to say just how much I appreciated you, and you were really an extended part of my family for the last 25 years, and really nearly 38 years since I started working in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives when Attorney Warren Spencer was your state representative back in the early 60s and 70s. He served for 22 years. I've served for 25 years. And he was a great mentor to me. He, Bill Hebe, Gary Gleason, really encouraged me to run for office back in 1992 when you first elected me. And I took my oath of office in 1993. And you've kept me in office since that time. And I just want to say thank you. And what a blessing it has been for both my wife and my family. And it really is a special opportunity to serve others and to represent you and to have so many different laws passed that reflect your concerns, your issues, and to represent your values. I've been blessed to have a very conservative district for the most part, and it is changing somewhat since 1979 when I started as a staffer, and then in 93 when I first became a state representative. But a lot of time has transpired since I was in my 20s, and then when I started serving you as a state representative at the age of 35. So I just wanted to say thank you again, and you'll be seeing me around whenever I can get back home. And I look forward to continuing my service at the federal level. And I also want to take the opportunity to say, if it wasn't for your support, giving me the opportunity to be a state representative, I would have never, ever had the opportunity to receive a presidential nomination and appointment to serve my country. So thank you. It's just a true blessing and honor to continue my service in your behalf. God bless you all.
Matt, can you give us a couple of your fondest memories in your last 25 years of service?
Some of my fondest memories have probably been having the opportunity to honor so many wonderful people, veterans, citizens for outstanding achievements, having opportunities to speak in schools to our children and to try to set a good example and be a good mentor to children as well, and to really also be able to have invitations to speak in churches and to support faith-based organizations over the years, and to defend and champion certain liberties. As many of you know, I've been one of the pro-life leaders in Pennsylvania for a good many years. Debated a good many issues on the floor of the House on those issues. Some of the fondest memories are some of the big debates I've had on the floor of the House of Representatives too, that we were able to pass bills that later became law. But again, it would not have been possible without the citizens of the 68th District in trusting me to serve them, to elect me and re-elect me, and to put that faith and trust to give me the awesome responsibility and privilege to represent them. Thank you so much.
What will you miss most in day-to-day operations?
Probably really two things. I'm going to miss the people themselves. You know, as a state representative, although I represent 65,000 people in about 3 counties, it's larger than some districts in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I have one of the largest districts in the state, larger than the state of Rhode Island. But what's wonderful about it is I've met so many wonderful people along the way, and I am going to miss them. After nearly 38 years of getting to know people in my district, I'm going to miss them. And I've known some of these folks for 38 years, and some I've attended their funerals. Some I've attended their graduations. Some I've attended various birthday parties, 100-year birthday parties, and being able to honor veterans for outstanding service to our country. All these kinds of events back home. You know, sometimes it's not so much what you do in Harrisburg and what laws you pass. It's what you do for the people back home day to day. And I've been blessed to have a wonderful staff. I'm going to miss my staff so much because they're an extended member of my family. And a lot of people don't realize it, but they've been ranked #1. My offices have been ranked #1 in constituent services in the entire Republican caucus for nearly 25 years. We do 9 times the average volume of services as my peers in Harrisburg, and that's because of my staff. So it's the day-to-day helping people in my office, answering the phone calls, answering the emails, helping people with their property tax merit rebates, their PACE-Net eligibility, their birth certificate applications, the PennDOT transactions, whatever it may be. I'm going to miss that personal touch and the personal faces and the personal friendships and, of course, my staff, both past and present. I have to thank Wendy Nason, she's retired now. Wendy Rebecca is retired. Rhoda Grabowski is retired. And then I was blessed to have wonderful people that replaced them. Susie Youngs, Kim Johns, Seneca Gastrick, and Dottie Gardner. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful individual. She is also over in Troy, Bradford County, running my office there. I hope whoever succeeds me will keep my staff on because everybody has been concerned about that. And so whoever might succeed me in the future, I sure hope they'll keep this wonderful team and these wonderful people that continue to help thousands of people each and every year.
Well, Matt, we're very grateful to you and your staff, and thank you again for serving us so well.
Thank you for the privilege and the honor.
On behalf of the management and staff of the Homepage Network, we congratulate Matt Baker on his new position and thank him again for his 25 years of service to the people of Tioga, Potter, and Bradford counties. Thanks for joining us today on the Homepage Network.
The Penwells Hotel and Lodge proudly greets visitors to Wellsboro, home of the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. Enjoy the outdoors with a hike in one of our area state parks. Play a round of golf at scenic Tioga Country Club. Cycle the acclaimed Pine Creek Rail Trail. Ride your motorcycle or classic automobile through the winding roads of our endless mountains. Experience the night skies at Cherry Springs State Park. Do some fishing or boating, or simply turn off your cell phone and sit and reflect on the beautiful surroundings. Day trip to the Corning Museum of Glass, Little League World Series Museum, or Lumber Heritage Museum. Back in downtown Wellsboro, take a break from your Dunham's Department Store shopping excursion to grab a coffee or snack at Cafe 1905. Stroll the streets and see what independent shops or historic buildings catch your eye. Have a drink in the Penwells Lounge or dinner in the Penwells Restaurant, followed by a movie in the Art Deco Arcadia Theater. There is so much for adventuresome travelers of all ages to enjoy during a vacation in Wellsboro, and experience it all with comfort and style, modern amenities, indoor pool, good food and drink, and friendly faces at the Penwells Hotel and Lodge.